Let's take a breath together as we just move into today's talk and our lesson for today on expectancy, which is what we're dealing with this month, the power in relentless expectancy. And I wish I could see a show of hands from people of who's been practicing relentless expectancy and who's been relentlessly practicing expectancy. I trust that I see some hands from the Zoom windows now, and I'm trusting that we all are moving through this time with expectancy, because that's really so important for us to do. Expectancy, just to remind you, that sense of exhilaration and excitement of knowing that there's good and more good to experience, no matter how much good we're experiencing today, that there's even more. And I call expectancy, as you know, the big and it's like there's always more to experience. There's always more to experience. And that's what Ernest Holmes tells us all the time. Just move through our lives with more and more and more awareness of good and more expectancy of good. And so another thing that this brings up is that once we move into that place of expectancy, we are daring to believe in good. We are daring to believe that there's good all around us. We are daring to believe that there's good available to us. And that's what our theme for the year is, dare to believe. So just dare to believe that there's good available and then expect that good. Expect that good. And so that's what we're talking about all month. And I'm really encouraging you to, no matter if you forgot it yesterday, if you forgot it last week, or you haven't started it yet, it doesn't matter. You can start right now to move into a place of expectancy, to move into a place of expectancy and be in that place of just allowing more and more good to come into your experience and to come into your life, because it's just waiting for us always, always. And so today, my topic is in the middle, in the middle, in the middle. That's where we are right now. We're in the middle. The middle is that place that is between, that equidistant between two extremes. That there's, if one extreme is hot and one extreme is cold, then warm is in the middle. Warm is that place of balance. Warm is that place that has a little of both, a little hot, a little cold, and it's perfect right there in the middle. And so the middle is that place of harmony. The middle is that place of healing. The middle is that place of balance. The middle is that place that we can come together. We can come together and live in ease and grace, live our lives in ease and grace, and move forward more easily, and be anchored in the presence of that one present. Be present in the presence of the one presence. Always, when we are in the middle, when we're in that place of balance, when we are in that place of harmony, when we are in that place of oneness, then that's where the middle is. And that's where I'm inviting you to spend some time in the middle and looking at how the middle is the place for us to be throughout this time, because the middle is also a place of transition. It's also a place of transition. And that's where we are in the world today. That's where we are in our lives today. That's where we are at our CLF community today. We are in the middle. We're in the middle of transition. We aren't where we were before, and we're not where we're going. We're in the middle. We're in this place. And so finding balance in this place is very, very important for us to do. And we do that with the energy of expectancy. We do that with the energy of expectancy. Just looking at the world today, just with the pandemic, we're in the middle of transition because we've been told for so long, wear a mask, social distancing is necessary. And then all of a sudden we're told you don't have to wear a mask if you've been vaccinated, and you don't have to socially distance. So here we are in the middle, because there are some people who even though they've been vaccinated, don't want to take that mask off yet. And there are others who've never put a mask on. So somehow all of us have to come together in the middle. Somehow all of us have to come together without blame, without shame, without judgment, without anger, without feeling separate, without separating, and all that. And that's what we've done. That's what our world seems to be today, one of separation. And that's where we want to allow ourselves to move to the middle so we can be in that expectancy of good, the good that is in the middle, the good that is in the middle, the good that is in letting go of the extremes and coming together to see how we can coexist, see how we can have more harmony, see how we can have more balance, see how we can have more healing, see how we can have more unity. That's what the middle is all about. That's where the unity is. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. And Ernest Holmes says when we can lose our sense of being separated, then we will find that we have been unified, that we will find that we have been unified all along. When we can lose our sense of being separated, then we can find that we've been unified all along. But we have to lose that sense of separation. And we lose that sense of separation by being willing to let go of the extreme. Whatever my view has been that I've been anchored in, and whatever your view has been that you've been anchored in, if we can come together and meet in the middle, and we can meet in the middle, then that's when we can start to have healing happen in our lives. That's when we can start to have good express itself in our lives as our lives, and things that work for the highest good of all concerned. That's what we have to be concerned about always. That's what we have to be concerned about always. So there's some things that I'd like you to just take a look at and think about. One of them is giving up your attachment to what good looks like. Giving up your attachment to what good looks like. That is so important for us to do. Give up our attachment to what good looks like. Because if we are attached to how good looks, instead of expectancy, we've moved into expectations. We've moved into expectations. I have heard people talking about things that have not happened yet. My healing hasn't happened yet. My meaning that I haven't gotten the money that I was expecting. I haven't gotten the physical healing that I thought I was going to get in my physical body, or whatever I thought was going to happen in my relationship. Hearing people say my healing hasn't happened yet. And you know what? We don't know what healing looks like. We don't know what healing looks like. The thing for us to do is to be open. The thing for us to do is to practice the presence of God. The thing for us to do is to court that presence always, and to always know the truth of our being is that we're made in the image and likeness and out of pure spirit itself, and that God is always right where we are, and that God is always God, no matter what our emotional storm or objective situation may be. That's what Ernest Holmes tells us. God is always God. God is always God, no matter what our emotional storm or objective situation may be. And so recognizing that God is always God, then we can let God be God in our lives, and we can let God know what decide what healing looks like, because God knows what healing is. Thank God. Much better than we know. Thank God. And so when we can just release our attachment to what healing looks like, then we can be in that place of the middle, that place of balance, that place of appreciation, that place of awareness that good is happening in my life right now. Good is happening in my life right now. Maybe it's not looking the way I thought it was going to look. Maybe it's not feeling the way I thought it was going to feel. Maybe it's not showing up the way I thought it was going to show up. Maybe it's not showing up at the time I thought it was going to show up. None of that matters. None of that matters. Just be open and be in a place of expecting good to happen. Expecting good to happen and being in that place of thank you, God, when whatever good happens. And when we, as I said, when we are in that place of disappointment, or when we're in that place of saying, well, it hasn't happened yet, that's because we have expectations. And when we have expectations, then we are ignoring other things that are happening. We're ignoring the good that's happening in other areas, in other ways than those that we expected. So give up your attachment to what good looks like, and just be open to all the good that God has for us. Just be open to all of it. And just the bucket that we turned right side up last week, turn that bucket right side up. Because when we are looking for good to come one way, through one avenue, the only way we can get money is through a check, a job. The only way we can get health is through this. The only way we can get relationships is with this person. A good relationship is with a particular person. All that's keeping that bucket turned upside down. It can't be filled. Because if we don't get that, then that's not good as far as we're concerned. When we are feeling like good has to come a particular way, in a particular package, at a particular time. Just knowing that God always knows. God always knows exactly what we need, when we need it, and is always providing. always providing for us. So as we release any notion of what good looks like, then we are in that place of the middle. We're in that place of harmony. We're in that place of balance. So let's take a breath together. The next thing I'd like you to really look at is being willing to meet other people in the middle. Being willing to meet other people in the middle. That's a big one. This is where we have to step up our expectancy game. This is where we have to really stretch sometimes to being willing to meet other people in the middle. And when we're meeting them in the middle, we have to let go of our judgment, as I said before, let go of our blame, let go of our criticism, let go of our resistance to others because they think differently or because they act differently or because they believe differently than we do. We have to recognize that their positions, their thoughts, their opinions are just as valid to them as ours are to us. It doesn't mean that we agree with them. It doesn't mean that it is the truth, but it is the truth for them. And what we have to be willing to do is to come together and meet in the middle. Ernest Holmes says we have to be willing to step beyond what the appearances are and come into that place of pure thought and imagination where we know this central idea that I am one with God, that all people are one with God, that we all live in God. And when I meet others, it is in God that I meet them. God individualized, God personalized, God as my friend. Let me say that again. I am one with God. All people are one with God. We all live in God. When I meet others, it is in God that I meet them. God individualized, God personalized, God as my friend. If we can remember that around when we are dealing with other people, that I'm one with God and all people are one with God. Sometimes we have to really stretch to see that. Sometimes we have to really stretch to believe that, depending on what's going on with us. Sometimes we have to really take a deep breath and just say those things, move into the awareness of that, even when we may feel some resistance to it. But the important thing for us to do is to recognize that whether we like it or not, or whether we believe it or not, or whether we feel like saying it or not, it's the truth. I am one with God and all people are one with God. I am one with God and all people are one with God. Even that person that you're looking at right now who is really upsetting you. Even that person that you're feeling like you really don't like right now because they're getting on your last nerve. I am one with God and all people are one with God. We all live in God. We all live in God. And so when we can move into that place, when we can move into that place of awareness, when we can move into that place of constantly knowing the truth, when we can move into that place of constantly knowing the truth, then we have moved into the middle. We've moved from our extreme of not liking, of criticizing, of blaming, and we are in the middle, that place where we can experience harmony, that place where we can experience balance, that place where we can experience the allness and the fullness of God, that place where we can experience oneness. Ernest Holmes also said that if people look drab and uninteresting to us, it is because of the way we look at them. If we have not, let me look at this. If we have not if we have not received joy from others, it is because we have stifled joy at the center of our own being. Joy must go forth to meet joy. Love must go forth to meet love. I'm going to read that again. If people look drab and uninteresting to us, it is because of the way we look at them. If people look drab and uninteresting to us, it is because of the way we look at them. If we have not received joy from others, it is because we have stifled joy at the center of our own being. Joy must go forth to meet joy. Love must go forth to meet love. Joy can only go forth to meet joy from us. So the joy has to be within us and it has to go forth from us to meet joy. Love has to go forth from us. Love has to go forth from us to meet love. That's how we experience the love, that agape love, that unconditional love, that universal love all around us. We allow it to go forth from us first. We allow the joy to go forth from us first. And we know that joy is that emotion that's excited by the expectancy of good. Joy is that emotion excited by the expectancy of good. So when we are in that place of expectancy of good, then we can exude joy. Joy can go forth from us always, always. So we have to be willing to recognize when we are dealing with other people that it is necessary to meet them in the middle. And as we go through these times now, as I said before about pandemic restrictions being lifted, we will be challenged to really come to the middle, to really meet people in the middle, to really take a deep breath and step back and to recognize I am one with God, all people are one with God. I am one with God, all people are one with God. We all live in God. And when we walk out of our doors, when we go into the stores, when we go into wherever it is we're going, when we're on the highway, if we can just remember, we all live in God. When we can remember that, then we're in that place of the middle, and we're in that place where we can open up to expectancy of good as a result of our recognition of that truth, that we all live in God, that we all live in God, that we all live in God, that the allness and the fullness of God is equally available to all of us, to each of us, no matter how different we may appear to be. The allness and the fullness of God is right where we are always. And so remembering to be willing to meet others in the middle. As you go through this week coming up, be willing to meet others in the middle. And I'll bet before the end of this day, you will meet somebody that you will have to meet in the middle, that it would be really beneficial for you to meet them in the middle before this day is over. And so I invite you to be open, and to know that there's good available in doing that. There's good available. There's good available as we do that. And then the last thing I'd like you to remember today is to be willing to meet yourself in the middle. Be willing to meet yourself in the middle. Be willing to let go of the criticism, the self-criticism, and the self-blame and all that, because you haven't been in a place of expectancy, maybe, because you have been attached to what good looks like, because you may have been dealing with expectations rather than expectancy. Forgive yourself for that. Forgive yourself for that. Forgive yourself for any mistakes you may have made. And then stand in the knowing that from this moment, I'm willing to meet myself in the middle. I'm willing to be in that place of harmony within myself. I'm willing to be in that place of balance within myself, because I'm in the middle of transition also. And I don't need to be at extremes with myself. I don't need, because I didn't do it this particular way or that particular way before, it doesn't matter. Right now, right here and right now, I am willing to meet myself in the middle and to be that place of love, and to be that place of joy, and to be that place of forgiveness, and to be that place of compassion for myself, and then be in that place of expectancy of good, not being in a place of perfection, not being in a place of perfection, but just appreciating what we do. Appreciating what we do. Ernest Holmes says that what we demonstrate today, tomorrow, and the next day is not as important as the tendency of our thoughts, the attitudes of our minds. If our lives are a little bit better, a little bit happier, a little more harmonious, a little more health-giving and joy-filled, if each day is a little bit better, then we're moving in the right direction. We're moving in the right direction. So can you answer that question for yourself? Is my life a little bit better today? Are things a little bit better? Are things a little bit happier? Are things a little bit more harmonious? Is my relationship a little bit more harmonious than it has been? Am I feeling a little bit more harmony and more balance in my life than I have been? Am I experiencing life in a more health-giving and joyous way than I have in the past? Am I expressing more of life than I have? Even though it may be a tiny amount, am I expressing more? The key word is more. The key word is more. The key word is better. The key word is happier. The key word is more harmonious. The key word is more joyous. The key word, again, is more. And when we're in that place of expressing more, then we're headed in the right direction. We're headed in the right direction. So give yourself credit for being in that place of the middle, in that place of balance, in that place of harmony, in that place of expressing the allness and the fullness of life, and in being in that place of expectancy of good. And good is showing up. Good is showing up in so many ways when we are in that place. When we are in that place, then good is showing up. And so I invite you to really, really give yourself, be willing to meet yourself in the middle, just as you meet others in the middle. And for heaven's sakes, give up your attachment to what good looks like. And just be open and receptive to accepting the good that is, accepting the good that is, accepting the good that is, and accepting that God is always God. God is always God, no matter what our emotional storm or our objective situation may be. And when God is always God, we want to let God be God in our lives, as our lives. And when we do that, then there's no way that we cannot experience the good. There's no way that we can miss out on all the good that God is and that God shows up as in our lives. And so stay in that place of expecting something wonderful to happen. Expecting something wonderful to happen in your life right now. Know it, sense it, feel it, and expect it every single day. Every single moment of every single day. And then watch the good that just overflows in your life. So let's take a breath as we just turn within in this moment, right here, right now. Just breathing in and breathing out and just recognizing that one power, that one presence, that one life, that one mind that is all good. That one power, that one presence, that one breath, that one intelligence that is always right where we are. That one that is the only one that is. That one that is my life, that one that is the life of each of us here this day. And as we recognize this and unify with it, I am speaking the word for each of us this day. Just speaking a word of wholeness, because wholeness is everything. Everything that we could possibly need or desire is contained within the wholeness that is God. And so that wholeness is revealing itself in and through and as our lives, right here, right now. I'm just calling it forth in places where there appears to be lack of any kind, where there doesn't appear to be enough money, there doesn't appear to be enough love, there doesn't appear to be enough of whatever it may be that is needed at any time. I'm calling forth abundance, calling forth prosperity, calling forth that wholeness that is God, and knowing that it is manifesting in each and every life as whatever it is needed. Whether it's healing in the body temple or healing in relationships or healing in our bodies of affairs, God is showing up as the thing itself. Always, always. And anything that anyone may be holding to block, I know is released by this word that's being spoken here. Releasing of doubt, releasing of fear, releasing of judgment, releasing of anger, releasing of everything. And just allowing the goodness of God to be established in our lives right here and right now. This word goes out to our politicians, our government, those who are in charge, just knowing that the division is beginning to fall away and oneness is making an appearance, even in places that we cannot think it would or it can. Oneness is appearing. Unification is appearing. God is appearing in the midst of everything that's going on. For the things that are going on in the Middle East right now, I know that peace is established. I know that the peace of God is in the midst of war and chaos. I know that the peace of God is beginning to reveal itself. I know that hearts are comforted by the loss of loved ones, wherever they are, the loss of loved ones, the loss of any kind. that the great comforter, God, is right in the midst of everything that is going on. Everything that is going on. And so I know that as we are in this circle of prayer right now, I pause momentarily so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer. You may speak their names silently or aloud, and you may speak them now. And so for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is in the midst. I know that God is right where each person is, blessing and keeping them, just as God blesses and keeps us. I know this prayer goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day, knowing that God is in the midst of every situation, every circumstance, every event. God is in the midst of everything. Healing is happening everywhere. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for the word that's spoken here this day. Thank you, God, for the perfect manifestation of this word that's spoken here this day. I know that all is well. I know that all is God. And I just give great thanks for this knowing and this truth. And I simply allow it to be. And so it is.